Hello, Rob here, Flanagan Homestead. We've been talking blueberries and how much I like my blueberries. We're out here on Columbia Fruits again today, where they harvest about 2 million pounds of blueberries a year and 2 million pounds of blackberries, but you got to protect those berries. And this is probably not something that we're going to do out at our home, but John is here with his falcons, and we're going to watch him work the falcons today and chase away the starlings and the other birds that are here at Columbia Fruits. And we're estimating these birds save a couple 100,000 pounds of berries a year. They do 4 million pounds combined, blueberries and blackberries, and just chasing off the birds the starlings come in huge droves, you said,
Yeah.
by the thousands. And if there's not birds chasing them away, Columbia Fruits loses hundreds of thousands of pounds of berries. And so John here helps take care of that.
That's right. I've seen flocks here at Columbia that are close to 10,000 birds. It looks like a rain cloud coming in. And if I wasn't here and the falcons weren't here, you could never get them to leave. They just make home and come in and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat all day. And then next day they'd go sleep and come right back in. But with the falcons, they just learned that this place is almost like a no-fly zone. Every time they come here, there's a falcon chasing them, and it takes a week or 2 weeks sometimes, and then they leave.
Yeah. So they end up at my house eating my blueberries.
Exactly.
Dadgummit.
Or the next blueberry farm down the street that doesn't have falcons there.
All right, John, so introduce me to your friend.
So this is Jar Jar. He's a Gyr Peregrine hybrid, so a Gyr Falcon mixed with a Peregrine. He's 4 years old.
Okay, so you have a very unusual job. Not too many people do it. How did you get into falconry?
So it was actually when I was a little kid. I was like 13 years old. I caught a little baby falcon, actually an American kestrel that jumped out of the nest a little early. And I kept it in my room for a day until my mom found it. And then she called Fish and Game, and they came and got it. And me asking questions, I found out that there's actually people who can train them. And we found a guy locally, and I went and watched his birds fly one time, and I was obsessed. And that was, almost 17 years ago now.
17 years ago. Wow. And how many birds do you have right now that you fly?
I have 9 that fly. 7 of them I fly here on the farm almost every day, and then 2 I have for off-season in the wintertime, hunting ducks and stuff like that.
Excellent.
But 7 birds at work, 2 for pleasure.
So right now he's hooking up the GPS. So I'm assuming that's hooked to their legs.
Yeah, so
Something.
we'll put this on their leg. We'll put this battery in. And then we hook it to the bird.
How often is the GPS actually needed to find a bird, or do they typically come back?
They typically almost always come back, but you just never know.
And so you're saying this guy's screaming because he's young and hasn't been out yet today.
Yep, he's excited and little.
And what type of falcon is this?
He's a Barbary.
Barbary falcon.
Yeah, he's from North Africa, Middle East areas where they are, where they're found in nature. Set him up there.
And so you told me he wasn't going to take off immediately, which obviously he's not. Is this typical to get the hood off and just relax for a minute?
Yeah, so they'll look around. There he goes. He's gonna land again probably.
Front view. So this one's the Peregrine?
No, this one's Apple.
Oh, this is Apple.
Peregrine's in the back. And then this one here is a hybrid between a Peregrine and a Gyr Falcon.
And how does one acquire a falcon?
So you have to get permits from the state. If you're interested, you just study. They make you take a test and do an inspection and everything. So it's it's not an easy process, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
And then they make you find a falconer for the first 2 years to teach you the way to do it. So you're an apprentice for 2 years, and then after that they kind of cut you loose and let you get whatever birds you want.
Okay, so he's definitely moving around now. What'd you say the mile? Oh.
Yeah, so he's 15 miles an hour, 20, 15.
And is he 170 feet away from us? Is that what that is?
Yeah, distance, and then he's 50 feet above us. He's gonna come right over the top of us now. And he's just see him flashing through the trees.
Oh, there he goes. I don't know if I got that. Yeah. So he was all over the place here, and now he's taken off to another field. So he's 1,600 feet away right now. Is that what that's saying?
Yep.
And how far will he typically go, or how far do you want him to go?
As long as he's staying within about a mile and a half. He sometimes, when they take off, they'll go 10, 15 miles. Some days they just take off.
Yeah.
Not very common, but they do.
So how do you get him back?
I'll show you. We'll go film it.
Okay.
But typically there's a couple different ways. So this is a lure. So when I was raising and training the birds, I tie food onto this, and they learn that when they see this, it's food. They'll come down. I'm sure everyone's seen the movies. They
Yeah.
come and land on the glove.
Or at the zoo.
At the zoo, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I also do this, which is I just tie 2 starling wings together, and just like a fishing lure. They
And they can't resist it, huh?
So.
But I mean, they come in and chase it, but they still voluntarily just land on your arm.
Yeah,
right?
So with this, I'll let them catch it. So I'll have them chase it, and then I'll let them catch it. And then once they're on the ground with it, I walk up and they will come up and finish their food on my glove.
Okay.
So.
So I mean, they have no desire to just take off and go away. They just keep coming back.
They learn that life's easy with me. They get a free meal every day, but they learn. It's, the nice thing, what I like about it is I'm not really in control of anything. If they want to leave, there's nothing I can do about it. Some birds, just their nature is to be a little less loyal, where this little guy, I don't think I can lose him, knock on wood, but he, the other day he went, 6, 7 miles away. 45 minutes later, he came and landed right up to, right here next to me. So, but no, for the most part, they're choosing to do everything. They're choosing to chase the birds. But with the agriculture stuff, even if they're not chasing birds, just them being around is enough to scare everything out of the country.
Right. But I don't know why I hesitate. All right, John's going to bring him in. He's got his lure, and he's got a bird.
Starling.
He's got a starling, and so just to reference their eyesight, the falcon is off in those trees, I would say 300 yards away, something like that, and he can wave and toss the starling up in the air, and they're going to see that and want to come in.
I'll let you know. He puts on a show for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, so he's quite a ways away, but he's going to know that you've got this out here.
Yeah, he'll see it as soon as I start swinging it. He'll start coming. So. So he's coming now.
Yeah. Do they ever catch it if you don't let them?
They do sometimes. But this, it's really hard for them to catch. Because I can control it so good. But the one I swing with my hand, they catch that one a lot when you don't want them to. But this is just... Try to get them to come right past you.
Whew.
You almost got that time. Ooh, he just attacked that bird.
Oh, really? Doing his job.
Yeah, we'll let him catch it.
Yeah.
That way he doesn't go and land and
Lose interest and
so find the best way. So then they'll eat the bones, a lot of feather, and then their digestive system does the rest. And then falcons and hawks, as well as owls, will spit up. I'm sure we all know the owl pellets.
yeah, the owls are famous for that.
Yeah.
You're saying the falcons do the same thing?
Falcons and the hawks will do it every morning, which is whatever's undigestible comes in one of those pellets. So when he's not, we have a trust where he doesn't think I'm going to steal his food or nothing. And that's just from spending time together.
Do you have a favorite falcon?
Yeah, I do. That one, the one I hunt with,
Yeah.
the one we were touching, he's my favorite. This one's high on the list. He's probably number 2. He was my least favorite his first year. That's why I named him Jar Jar, from Jar Jar Binks.
I was gathering you watch Star Wars. So as John said, sometimes there's a lot of action right there, right by you, and sometimes there's not. They started flying their falcons a few weeks ago, and when they first started flying them, there was flocks of 5,000 starlings, and I've seen those before. I live in the area, and it was really exciting to watch the falcons get in on those birds and just chase entire flocks of thousands and thousands of birds. But they've basically run most of the birds out of the area, so there wasn't a whole lot there. So when John released them today, the falcons took off and were looking for birds, and they were at times a couple miles away. So as far as the action of actually chasing a bird that's hard to get, he said that's not unusual once he's been in an area for a while. But we got a chance to see basically what it looks like.